All right, got a short little video going over the section 5.3b homework solutions. So that's this worksheet here. I was able to get 5 out of the 6 on the board. Unfortunately, couldn't fit number 6. So let's go through these. Number 1, f of x is x to the 101st power plus 101x. We know that the value of the inverse function at 102 is equal to 1. So we want to know the value of the derivative of the inverse function at 102. So we're going to take the derivative of f of x, f prime of x, that's going to be 101x to the 100 plus 101. And then we're going to use the formula to evaluate the inverse function's derivative. So take the derivative f to the minus 1 of 102, or at 102. And so we plug in the output value of the inverse at 102, which is just 1. So that's 1 over 101 times 1 to the 100th power plus 101. Don't accidentally plug in 102. You plug in this output value here, 1. And that's 1 over 202. All right, number 2, the answer is B, because of that reciprocal relationship of slope between the original function and its inverse. So if the slope is greater than or equal to 2, then the slope of the inverse must be less than or equal to 1/2. All right, so everything else on there just isn't necessarily true. All right, all the other options I mean. Number 3, we have f of x is sine squared x minus 2x. The value of the inverse at 0 is 0, so we want to know the value of the derivative of the inverse at 0. So the derivative of sine squared x minus 2x. Remember, sine squared x is the same as sine x all squared. So that's a chain rule. Take the derivative of that, 2 sine x, times the derivative of sine x, which is cosine x, minus 2. And so now we can evaluate the derivative of the inverse at 0 using the formula. That's 1 over 2 times the sine of 0. So we're plugging in this value. Times the cosine of 0 minus 2. The sine of 0 is 0. So that'd be 1 over 0 minus 2, negative 1/2. All right, number 4, we have f of x is x cubed plus 3x. The value of the inverse function at 4 is 1. So that's what we're going to plug in. We want to know the value of the derivative at 4. So what's the slope of the inverse function at 4? The slope of the tangent line. All right, f prime of x is going to be 3x squared plus 3. So using the formula, we're going to plug 1 into the derivative. 1 over 3 times 1 squared plus 3, that's 1/6. All right, number 5, just looking through those, if f is an invertible function, which of the following is not true? A is true if you'll look at your notes from this section. B is true. C is true. D is not true. If f is increasing, then the inverse must be increasing. So the answer is D. All right, let's finish this guy up. Do number 6. So number 6, we have f of x is equal to sine x minus 3x. The value of the inverse function at negative 3 pi is equal to pi. So what is the value of the derivative of the inverse function at negative 3 pi? So that's saying, what is the slope of the tangent line of the inverse function at negative 3 pi? What's that? All right, let's get the derivative of the original function. That's going to be cosine x minus 3. So then we're going to take the derivative of the inverse at negative 3 pi. So that's going to be 1 over cosine. Now what do you plug in for x here? You plug in negative 3 pi? No, you don't. You plug in pi. So without this answer, without this value, you can't use this formula. So cosine of pi minus 3, that's going to be 1 over, what's the cosine of pi? It's negative 1 minus 3. So that's going to be negative 1/4. Boom. Easy one. Don't miss those on the test. Just memorize that formula and you'll be good to go. I'll talk to you on the next one.